They're not so bad if you can keep out the scenery, you know, and nothing goes wrong. I mean, unfortunately, a few weeks ago we were at Mallory Park, actually broke the outright circuit record, and then a little bolt came out the airbox and totally wrecked the engine. I like this series more because it's like a mishmash of any sort of big single-seater car you want to bring along. And I think, to be fair, most of us realise, you know, we're not the next Formula 1 drivers. We just want to go out and enjoy ourselves and have a good time. And I think that's where the success lies, really. Although, to be honest with you, it's business this weekend because there's 2 points between Johan and me in the championship, and I really need to beat him. But you can see what I'm up against with a weapon like that, you know, it's virtually impossible.
We've been fastest in just about every session so far. Unfortunately, just went out on the kind of warm-up lap. I noticed that there was a bit of a fluctuation with the brakes, so we came in and tried to cure that. When I went out again, I got to the first corner, and unfortunately, we've got some kind of braking problem because they went straight through, and that's what threw me off the circuit. So, you know, it's maybe starting from the back of the grid, bit of entertainment. We'll see how it goes. I'll try and come through.
It's the, let us say, most difficult track during the year in the Boss Series with a car like that one I have, the Formula 1 car, because all the power and all the hairpins on a track like this make it very difficult to drive.
And what, we've got 25 laps, that's going to be pretty tiring.
It's going to be, yeah, also for the machine, just because of the bumps, and you have to be very careful out there as well, because the speeds is very high on the street and anyway, so.
What's your own experience in motor racing?
Well, I started in Formula V in '78, that's a long time ago, and then I have done the Super V in Europe and switched to Formula 3 and did Formula 3 in Sweden for a long time, and then moved up to Formula 3000 in England for a season, and then afterwards that I did Inter Series in Europe, and I switched over to Boss Series this year.
So the Swedish driver Johan Rajamaki is in pole position in the Formula 1 Arrows. Alongside him, Tony Worswick in the 3000 Renault. Then Matthew Mortlock, similar car, Nigel Worswick on the third row, with alongside him Arnie Black in the Formula 2 Crossley. There's the packed grid and a very, very powerful field of cars. 25 laps of the AIB sponsored race lie ahead of them as they head off down to Coca-Cola any second now. Just listen to the wail of the Formula 1 engines. A Judd engine in Rajamaki's car makes a good start, but Worswick makes an even better one and comes across his bars. Tony Worswick then running a little bit wide at Coca-Cola. Round he goes. Nigel Worswick in second place. His brother just in behind Rajamaki, and then Mortlock in third place. So Rajamaki now really a very nice situation indeed, but the real danger, man, is down the pack. We're just looking for him, the big white Lola 3000 there, number 15. That's Perry McCarthy. And Perry McCarthy, who had a problem in practice, was really one of the quickest men out there, a very potential lap record breaker here, has to wend his way through the field right from the back of the grid. So Rajamaki leads. Nigel Worswick in second place, then Mortlock, and then look at Arnie Black fending off Perry McCarthy. Cheeky stuff indeed, but in fairness, McCarthy did say, drive your own race and I'll wend my way past you. So McCarthy now up into fourth position, having taken Arnie Black. And there's the second of the Formula 1 cars that was actually running. There were 3 entered, but unfortunately the Simtech didn't make the start. So Rajamaki, very experienced man, as he told us, former Inter-Series champion. Nigel Worswick in second place, who had a fairly spectacular off during practice. Indeed, they'd rather botched up the front suspension on the second place car, just well in the background at the moment. And of course, being very well informed indeed, Rajamaki, by his pit, he will be very keen to find out the progress of the man just in the background now, Perry McCarthy, in the Lola, the only 3000 Lola in the entry list. And as you see them coming towards you, you can see as he comes down into Coca-Cola this time. No, quite legitimately, Matthew Mortlock, who is a racing car and indeed vintage aircraft dealer, is holding his line and fending off McCarthy. This is all good news for Rajamaki up the front. Now, of course, we're looking at lap records here all the time at Mandela. The existing one is held by Martin Donnelly Jr. in a 3000 car. That goes back quite a number of years. But of course was Martin Donnelly in the Eddie Jordan car that he was racing for him at the time in Formula 3000. But Rajamaki is really putting in the quick ones now. He's down to 51, which means, in fact, that he's the new lap record holder. Then goes Barry McCarthy. He's gone up a place. He's up into third place. And he's another man that is lapping now underneath the lap record. And he's got to get past Nigel Worswick, who very gentlemanly there, weighs him through. So McCarthy has come from the back of the grid in the Formula 3000 loader right up into second place, but he's a long way back now in Rajamaki. And of course Rajamaki's pit will be keeping him very well informed of this situation. Ron Cummins, and again, as Tony Worswick off in the dirt again at Coca-Cola. That's the second time during this race. So Worswick, a very quick man indeed, but a bit erratic as we can see. Number 9. Unfortunately has had problems nearly since he hit the Irish floor, Ron Cummins in his arrows. So we're looking at Barry McCarthy just over the rise, and we're looking at Mortlock having a tremendous battle now with Nigel Worswick. So these two very similar Reynard 3000s, Matthew Mortlock, their number 24, just coming into picture now, and you can see that Mandela, of course, completely resurfaced a number of years ago, but still with these rock-hard cars, a few bumps that are a little disconcerting, even on this now billiard board surface. Rajamaki coming back into the main arena, and what an enormous task it must be to control one of these highly powerful machines. About 600 brake horsepower in the Judd engine of Rajamaki's car, and that makes Mandela a very small place indeed. Mortlock rocking wheels as it comes to one of the few overtaking points at Mandela that was into show, and you can see there that Barry McCarthy is really closing on the lead. Here comes Mortlock again. Now these, of course, are gentlemen racers. They do it purely for the fun, so they're not inclined, maybe as in the clear-minded people, to drive into each other. So Matthew Mortlock putting big pressure on Nigel Worswick, but not putting himself in a position to either damage him or his friend's motor car. There's Tony Worswick going up past Ron Cummins, the Scottish driver, in the other areas, which is just not going on all cylinders. Unlike Rajamaki, now he's getting the signal, and he's put in another quick lap, still under the lap record, because all the time Barry McCarthy is now closing that gap between first and second place as we go back to the battle for third and fourth between Nigel Worswick and Matthew Mortlock. Worswick, two brothers with identical colour schemes and virtually identical Reynolds. Rajamaki leading with a lead that is being shrunk all the time. He's a very experienced man. And to see is, of course, one of the big sports cars, a bit similar to the Can-Am car that used to be raced in American Can-Am about 20 years ago. Very powerful beast. So Rajamaki well used to the power, but not used to really having to work just so hard under this pressure from McCarthy. McCarthy undoubtedly points him. McCarthy really is one of the casualties of motorsport, you might almost say. He has touched greatness. He's been at the helm of Formula 1, but he's never quite gone into the garment. Nice little battles going on down the field. We're just picking out Arnie Black, number 111 there in the 19F Crosley, a car that used to hold a lap record indeed at Aintree many years ago, and right on his tail, a much more modern machinery there of Vivian Daly. That's the Formula Opel car that he's obviously ultra competitive in. There's Ronnie Maben, number 71, in his Delta with a Vauxhall engine, being chased at the moment by the other Crosley, and that was driven by Bill Gowdy. Meanwhile, this battle for third place continues to wage. And it's still Nigel Worswick holding off Matthew Mortlock in the 2,000 Nigel Worswick now a little bit deflated, and right on the tail now of the leader, we have Perry McCarthy, who is tested for Benetton, Williams, TWR, and BMW in his time. Roddy Maben and Bill Garney just sitting inside him. It has to be said that poor Roddy really shot his tyres yesterday. He went very quickly on soft rubber yesterday. And we see that Tony Worswick has gone ahead of Nigel Worswick. So we can only assume Nigel is in some kind of order now. And really heavy stuff, because the fast men are coming through to lap the slow machinery. Indeed, we see Vivian Daly taking advantage of that fact. The battle still goes on for third place. And this time it's Tony Worswick who's taken up the clutches, and he's come right from the back of the field. There's an interesting car, number 51, that's the Atlantic Road, driven by Dan Daly. Just about to be lapped by Olivier Morgan there. He's got himself stranded down there at Coca-Cola, not in a very comfortable position, I used to say. So it's all got a bit too much, sadly, for number 24, Matthew Mortland, as the leaders go through under the yellows, and of course under yellow flags you are not allowed to overtake. So the car looks pretty well locked there at Coca-Cola. Rajamaki then. Now, and it seems that the pressure has come off Rajamaki a little bit, because Perry McCarthy has dropped right back. McCarthy thinks he's got a gearbox problem. So Rajamaki, who was pushed and pushed and pushed, and in fact has produced a sensational new lap of 50.72, an outright lap record here at Mandela. So take a bow, Mr. Rajamaki, that is some time on this tight circuit. Mortland going again, and coming up to be lapped for the second time now by Johan Rajamaki. There's Perry McCarthy, is still going, but very frustrated, I would think, and you can see that the car really has no pull out of the slow corners. So he has certainly lost possibly second and maybe third gear. He's still staying remarkably in touch with the Formula 1 car. And Rajamaki, who's a professional race driver and makes a living out of racing this car, has a lot of corporate hospitality attached to his appearances in the car. As you can see, he's smothered in sponsorship. Mortlock then, now 2 laps down, still circulating. And the order at the moment is Rajamaki, McCarthy, then Tony Worswick coming up through the field. Arnie Black is sensational 4th place, and Vivian Daly 5th. So the Irishman doing very well indeed. We just saw Nigel Worswick's car stranded on the circle there. It was going very slowly in the last couple of laps. And there indeed is Vivian Daly, just locking the wheel down at Budweiser, who is lying in 5th place at the moment. Here's the man who's leading at the new lap record time. And what a wonderful sight it is to see cars in this calendar back in Mandela. Formula 1 cars roaring their head off. The V10 challenge Rajamaki's car, followed by Perry McCarthy's 3000, which of course is the Cosworth DFE. And those were based on the type of engines that were very successful in parkour racing in the 70s and 80s. And I'm afraid Dan Daly calls it a day and calling into the pits there. So Rajamaki now, definitely with the pressure off, can ease back a little bit. We're unlikely to see him better his sensational time of 50.72, 81.62 miles an hour, incidentally. That is a very, very tight circuit. So easing off as he picks his way through the back markers. Perry McCarthy frustrated and still in 2nd place, and really everybody else, all the other 3,000 oppositions, either blown up or thrown itself into the senior. So that is the reason why McCarthy, despite his gearbox problems, can maintain that 2nd place. Rajamaki getting his pit signal, and you can see McCarthy's a long, long way back, almost the length of the main straight. And it's very tight little circuit for these type of cars. There is Perry McCarthy. He actually drove in Formula 1 for the Andrea Norgay Formula 1 team, and of course they didn't ever in fact qualify for a Formula 1 race. Rajamaki he's a lap ahead.
I had a quite good race together with Perry, because my mechanics in the pit showed me +10, +13. So I was just slowing down, you know, cruising around, because I think I did a high 51 before that, and that means a new lap record in anyway. But then suddenly I saw Perry coming up, so I better put on a little more speed in the car, so that's why I did the lap record later on then. And it was a good fight, yeah?
I lost first and second gear, which obviously doesn't help our lap record attempt or winning, but congratulations to Johan, he did a good job, and it was fun. It's been great to be over here, and I'll have to come back next year and try and bust Johan's record.
I managed to get the jump on Johan from the start, and I almost about braking, but myself as well into the first corner. I did put some concrete dust down, I left with a bit of room, and I ran wide onto the concrete dust, and that set us on the grass. So I eventually got off the grass and set off dead last, and I had another little excursion on there later on trying to pass someone. It's been a really eventful race, and I got second in the boss points because Perry's not including that. So I think the title battle still goes down to Alton Park yet. It's still possible to win it.
Martin, the record passes to a new family name.
Yes, well, I think everything was on the cards there today for that. You know, the weather was good. The track has been resurfaced. I'm not taking away from our Martin, but maybe he'll come back maybe next year.
Are you disappointed? Yeah.
Not really, no. When you allow for the weather, you allow for the track and the development in the cars over the years, no, I'm not disappointed. It had to go, but maybe he'll come back and defend it.
So Johan Rajamaki becomes the new lap record holder and the first winner of the boss race here at Mundella. And as we said, very good news indeed. There's Perry McCarthy in second place. And as usual, Perry enjoying a little bit of fun. And Tony Worswick taking third. And the very good news is we're going to see this calibre of racing back here at Mundella for the next 5 years. Martin Donnelly presents Johan with a 1,000 guinea cheque from the AIB. Very nice indeed.
81.62 miles per hour. Many congratulations. Let's hear it for them. Come on, please.